I want to talk to you about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver. So I want to give you 5 Amazon DSP hacks to always perform. The first thing is think about seasonality. So when we talk about the DSP program in general and an Amazon delivery driver, seasonality plays an important role. Basically, the way you're going to work in January is not the same thing you are going to do in, let's say, in the summer, like around June or July or September. So it's really important for you to think about seasonality. And so when we talk about seasonality, we're talking about the holidays, for instance. So October, November, that's where you actually, as a DSP partner and also as an Amazon delivery driver, it'll be a lot easier. And sometimes it really depends also upon the state you're in. So the seasonality is not just something at the national level. It can also be at the state level. But one thing I want to say here is that every DSP partner prepares for increased holiday traffic for months. They don't just start like yesterday or whatever. No, they actually have a plan and they actually prepare for this for months. So if you are an Amazon delivery driver, you want to actually talk to your DSP to have a clear idea about the type of planning they have for your boss has when it comes to seasonality. So, and the earlier you know about this seasonality, the better, because you are able to adjust your current situation to have a clear idea about how to actually perform better. And the thing is that we also have found in our research is that Amazon gives a pool of money to all of the DSPs leading up to the holidays to help them hire, retain, and motivate their employees to work through peak season. So if you know this means what? It means that you have a lot more money for you. If you are an Amazon delivery driver, you could potentially earn a bonus during the holiday season. That's why it's important to have a clear idea about seasonality. And again, I just want to insist on the fact that seasonality doesn't mean the same thing for all states. Depending on the state, like if you are in New York, seasonality it's not just around October or November. Seasonality can be around, for instance, Cinco de Mayo, for instance, and this is a festivity that is not celebrated in other states. So just be aware of those, I would say, those state differences. By the way, boss, I want to quickly welcome you back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We're having a quick conversation about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver. And so the first hack is seasonality. The second hack you want to pay attention to is skill set. And when we talk about skill set, we're talking about you actually, when you come to the DSP program, either as an Amazon delivery driver or as a DSP owner, you really want to bring your own skill set. In other words, you can be working at a bank, you can be working, let's say, as a mechanic, you can be working as an architect, and bring those skills to the DSP program. Because see, the thing is that this is first of all, if you're an owner, you will need managerial skills. It's not just about having experience in the logistics industry. You really want to also have a bird's eye view of your operation. And Amazon actually reward that diversity in skill set. If you are an Amazon delivery driver, depending on the skills that you had originally, you can actually parlay those skills into your driving routine. For example, if you had a corporate job before, you can actually use the skills you acquired there to actually take care of your planning, to be organized, to have a clear idea, to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to work for 8 hours. Here is how I plan my day. So the skill set is important. Now, when we talk about skill set, it's not just about the skill set you bring to the DSP program as an Amazon delivery driver or as a DSP owner. It's also your ability to constantly upgrade your skill set, because Amazon actually rewards within the DSP program anybody that's constantly honing their skills, anybody who's constantly polishing up their skills, and Amazon has every now and then they have occasional training programs for DSP partners. They also have training programs for drivers, for the delivery drivers, so that they can actually keep up with economic trends. And when we talk about the DSP program, you need to understand there are some regulatory sort of implications when it comes to the logistic business, and Amazon is really aware of that, and so they want to make sure all the DSP partners and all the Amazon delivery drivers are aware of those regulations. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm talking to you about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver, and I'm giving you our top 5 Amazon DSP hacks to actually. So the first hack is seasonality. The second hack is skill set. The third hack is early bird. Now, what does early bird means? Early bird means that you have to start early. You want to be in the habit of actually waking up a little early, and so which means what? It means that you can go to bed a little late. I mean, not late. You go to bed a little early, so you wake up early. So if you want to have like 8 hours of sleep or whatever, you can sleep like around 9 o'clock and wake up around 5 a.m. So you are basically having your 8 hours of sleep. Or you can go to bed at 10 o'clock and wake up at 6. But the bottom line here is that, if your day as an Amazon delivery driver starts at 8 a.m. or 8:30, having the ability to wake up a little earlier helps you organize your day. It helps you have a clear idea about what kind of requirements you have for the day, what kind of priorities you should have. And usually you should receive from your DSP boss, your DSP partner, or your partner, your DSP manager, a listing of the priorities for that day. Okay, so and this advice actually also applies to the Amazon DSP partners. So if you're a DSP partners, it's just a lot better for you to wake up a little early so you can organize your day. Especially if you are managing a fleet of drivers, you want to have a clear idea who is delivering where, and what kind of loads should be delivered. And it's important to understand that you want to be also early, because if you are an Amazon delivery driver, you want to be early because you want to arrive at the DSP distribution center a little early, and you want to, so that you can have you can receive the keys to your van. You can just look around. You can look at the loads for the day. You can plan a lot of things. So being an early bird is a great hack if you want to succeed in the Amazon DSP program. So when we talk about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver, waking up early is an important routine to have. Now, I'm not saying that you should do this all the time, but if you are, let's say you are in a busy location such as New York or LA or Chicago, then actually waking up a little early will help you out. Will help you out a lot, and so that you are clear about everything. And again, you also want to actually be there early because you want to be able to load and unload the packages that you have. Usually, as a DSP delivery driver, you have to load about 300 to 400 packages into your van and unload them one by one throughout the day. So again, those things require some preparation. The fourth hack I want you to really be aware of, when we talk about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver, and I'm giving you the 5 hacks that you need to pay attention to. The fourth one is the tech. So tech hacks. And the thing here is that there is a system Amazon uses that tells you how many packages you have in your van. And based on the algorithm, this can also tell you if you are ahead or behind on your deliveries in a prescribed amount of time per shift. What does that mean to you? That means that, first of all, you need to be aware of that software in your car. That's number 1. Number 2, you need to be aware that software is tracking your performance. Number 2. Number 3, you yourself, as an Amazon delivery driver, you need to devise a plan. You need to devise a program that allows you to say, you know what, I'm going to stay on top of my deliveries, because I know that, if I have to deliver, let's say 200 packages a day, I want to actually reach a minimum ratio of 80%. In other words, I want to deliver at least 160 packages. And this is really important. You need to understand the Android device Amazon issues its drivers for deliveries is called a Rabbit. And this Android device maps out your deliveries in terms of how many stops you have. And the algorithm is loosely based on 20 stops per hour. 20 stops per hour. And depending on where you deliver, like in a city with apartment complexes or suburbs that are dense, you can deliver up to 40 packages in an hour, or a delivery every 1 to 2 minutes. And if you deliver in rural places of the states, it can only be 17 stops in 2 hours if you're up in the mountains or on gravel roads. And so this is important for you to pay attention to the tech, because if you have to go to the bathroom, you want to scope out the nearest public restrooms before your shifts. Know where the grocery stores are and public parks with restrooms. Sometimes in developing areas, there is construction sites with portable toilets. You want to stay hydrated, but be aware of where you can go if you need to. This is why you want to wake up early, because you want to be organized. If you are a well organized driver, you can sometimes be up to 15 stops ahead of schedule. If you are ahead, sometimes Amazon will make you rescue another driver who is behind and take on a few totes from their load. So when all your packages have been dropped, you head back to the depot for a final inspection. So this is the kind of technology I want you to be aware of so that you can be a great performer as an Amazon delivery driver. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver. I'm giving you our top 5 hacks to actually always perform. Top 5 Amazon DSP hacks to always perform. You want to pay attention to, and I'm just talking about the tech hacks. It's important to understand that when you talk about Amazon as a DSP partner or as a DSP driver, there is something called Prime Day. And Prime Day happens around Christmas. And it's one of those things where you are going to get a little busier, if not too busy. And it's one of those things where, depending on the DSP you work for, you as a driver can be trained or not trained. This is where you have to actually use your existing skill set. You have to use the fact that you are really well organized. You do research. You actually pay attention to what's happening around you to actually always perform. Because imagine if Amazon or the DSP you are working for, if they don't train you, then you are on your own. You still have to deliver though. But if you are on your own, you can't really get your job done. So this is why it's important to understand that if you don't get the training, you have to rely on technology. So how can technology help you? Because I'm still talking about the tech hacks here that you have to use, because I will talk about the hack number 5 later on. But hack number 4 is basically you tapping into the tutorials, the videos, because Amazon has a series of videos, series of tutorials, series of info questions around Prime Day. It's not just about Prime Day. It's all about peak season in general. Because when we talk about peak season, we're talking about peak volume. And you need to have a strategy in place that allows you to actually cope with those peaks in seasonality and peaks in load and peaks in search and peaks in loading and unloading. One thing I need to say before closing on this section is that you need to understand seasonality, but also the months that actually lead up to like big season time. For example, if you have the season, like the holiday season is around October and October all the way to December, right? But from August all the way to September, you want to start preparing yourself so that you are well prepared, so to speak. The 5th hack that is so important that a lot of folks don't know when it comes to a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver, the DSP hack, this is fitness. You need to understand when you talk about being an Amazon delivery driver, you are basically just that, a delivery driver, which means what? It is a delivery job. Some days you can walk up to 10 miles a day. So there's a lot of turnover at Amazon because it is a very physical and solitary job. Sometimes it can feel like a driver with 6 months experience is already a veteran, with turnover being so high. And delivery drivers are getting out of the van over 200 times a day, 200 times. So turning ankles, blowing out knees, and dog bites are not a matter of it. They will happen. It's not about when they will happen. It's about how often they will happen. And the thing here is that you need to actually you need to have a strategy for you to be fit. Do you have to go to the gym? Do you have to wear extra pads, extra gear to make sure that you are basically you're comfortable, okay? And you also want to what kind of lifestyle do you have outside of the DSP program? Are you healthy? Do you eat healthy? So those are important elements. And remember, when we talk about fitness, we're not just talking about you walking. We're talking about you having going up and down. For example, you can have up to 30 deliveries in one apartment complex, up to 3 flights of stairs back and forth. And pet owners like ordering those 50-pound bags of food on Amazon, so we have to carry those out of the van, and so it's important to understand that you are going to pay attention if you're an Amazon delivery driver. If you have to carry those out of the van and up flights of stairs, then you have to be fit. And you need to understand, when you think about Amazon and as a delivery driver, this is not a full-time. This is not a full-time. It is a full-time job, but it's not a salary job. You are being paid by the hour. And some DSP owners can pay you, depending on where you live or when you work, you can be paid anywhere from $15 all the way to $38. So it's a matter of you actually seeing if it's really worth it for you to work that much, by the hour, if that hourly rate is really worth it for you. Let me give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. It's really important to understand that if you are an Amazon delivery driver or you are a DSP partner, the overall experience at Amazon is positive. But it's all about how you organize yourself. It's all about what you bring in, what you bring into the game, right? But organization is the number one important element. Because the 5 hacks that I just spoke to you about, the hacks are seasonality, skill set, early bird, tech hacks, and fitness. Those hacks will help you actually stay on the job and be productive. But at the end of the day, it's all about your mindset. What kind of vision you have for the job? What kind of planning do you do? Planning is so critical. You got to plan. Because see, everything at Amazon is tech related. Everything is sort of run by an algorithm. So basically, they know what kind of deliveries you have to make every hour, or they have a clear idea about everything. So if you're not organized and you are being run by a robot, you're not going to survive. So organization is number one. Number two, you want to be healthy. So you want to be healthy. You want to see what you're eating. You want to see what you're drinking. You really want to pay attention to those things that relate to your biology. The third thing that you want to pay attention to here is so you have biology, of course. Yeah. So the third thing is you want to see how you can use technology to your advantage. So when we talk about planning, for instance, now what kind of, do you use GPS to plan your day to sort of identify where there is some construction, right? Because those things, if you are going to go in a dense area, in a suburb, dense area, you want to look at these things beforehand, so okay, this is what I can expect if I go to that area. So bottom line here is that, again, but this goes back to what I said about planning. You are able to find out exactly beforehand what you can expect, and by doing this on a consistent basis, you will be able to know exactly how to perform as an Amazon delivery driver. And what will happen here is that you will be a great Amazon DSP partner or delivery driver. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I just spoke to you about a day in the life of an Amazon delivery driver, and I gave you our top 5 Amazon DSP hacks to always perform. So number 1, seasonality. Number 2, skill set. Number 3, early bird. Number 4, tech hacks. Number 5, fitness. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.